Today is August 1st, 2017, back with StocksToTrade trade recap. Going to focus on a trade that is accessible to anybody. Almost doesn't matter the size of your account, whether or not you're under the PDT. This is a trade you should watch for and look for on MBRX. So what do I like about MBRX so much? Let's jump to the daily chart, 1 year, 1 day. Always use multiple time frames. Always I call it the big chart, the long-term chart, the LT chart, whatever you want to call it. Let the big chart guide you on the little chart. So the big chart's the daily, little chart's the intraday. So what I saw on MBRX is, this is on my radar. I never trade stocks that just pop up out of the blue. There's got to be, I have to have a thesis. I have to have an idea. I use Evernote. I can type in the ticker. I can quickly see that if I go to MBRX, I was talking about this for days, weeks, literally, all the way back to late June in that recent spike. So it is a stock that is on my radar. It was green, I think 4 or 5 days in a row. Was interesting, heavily shorted, all these things I talk about in other videos, but I mainly want to focus on multiple time frames. Technical analysis is an art. It is not a science. So as I talk about these key levels and I draw these lines, I may make statements that are very, very, very defined, but again, know that this is art. And it is open to interpretation to anyone. Nevertheless, 275 was very interesting to me because the stock fell apart last fall, bounced off 275, and then since then, back here in the early spring, really struggled with those levels. Couldn't get over 275, couldn't get over. Then we had that big spike in late June I talked about. Then that's when everybody got short because of the long-term chart, because of the big chart. It faded back and then based and started its grind higher. Now, that's interesting. That's all well and good. But how do you actually then make a trade plan and a trade decision based off of a pretty choppy chart? But again, this 275 level is interesting to me. What did we get yesterday afternoon? Or yesterday, I should say. We had a gap up, consolidation all day, held around VWAP, late day perk, and what did I like most about this late day perk? It broke that 275 level. You can look at the daily chart and you can see, well, what's so significant about 275? Other than the high day break, not a whole lot. That's why I use multiple time frames, and I see that this is a breakout above those levels, and, time will tell, but did this stock want to repeat its run from late June? So I like this as a potential entry at 275. Your stop is then that consolidation range of the all afternoon, all day, basically. Because now it perks late day. This tells me, okay, this stock has broke that key level of 275. It's broke the high a day. This stock looks like it wants to run. Big candle. You can see the volume come in. I should be looking at 5-minute candles. That's what I always recommend. So I see the volume, I see it perking. Now, worst case scenario, I stop out if it fails. What's a fail mean? It rolls back over, breaks that 260 level. That tells me, okay, failed breakout. What's that mean? I potentially lose 10 cents, 12 cents a share. If you are properly managing your position size, a 10 cent a share or a 12 cent a share loss should not be a big deal. Trading is about losing. Okay, I use the baseball analogies all the time. 4 out of 10 wins as a baseball player, you're in the Hall of Fame. Trading can be very similar. You can be successful with a 50% win rate. You can be successful with a lower win rate as long as you cut your losses. I'd keep spots on the chart and stick to those losses. So then what actually happened on that 275 entry, never rolled over to that stop out area, held its gains all night. was a little choppy in pre-market, but held. Lowest point was 280s in the pre-market. Then we got a blast off to 3+. Then the exit, the way I manage exits on these big runners is I wait for that first red 5-minute candle. So say you held all the way up to the 340s, it rolls over, you stop out after that first red candle in the 330s. What does that mean? You just potentially made 50 to 60 cents a share when you risked 12 cents, 10 cents a share. Risk 12 to potentially make 50 to 60 cents on a PDT friendly trade. You didn't use a day trade here if you're under the PDT. That's a 4-to-1, 5-to-1 risk to reward. That's a trade anybody can make. That's a trade to focus on. Put your lines on your charts, set your alerts, wait for these key levels, be patient, take the trade with a clear stop out area like MBRX had. Flip side is, if you didn't take it the day before, this is a piece of junk stock. Everybody knows that. Then I think it was pretty hard to borrow, and I'm not really interested in the short on this anyway. But, you get that fail, can't break VWAP all afternoon, goes red. Probably a solid short entry there, but, again, you then short it for 30 cents of upside, 20 cents of upside. If you're perfect, you got to find the locate. You got to have the right brokerage account. Much more difficult. And then it's now a day trade because I would never hold any of these short overnight. So you go from a PDT friendly account with a short or with a small account friendly trade to needing the proper brokerage and using a day trade. So trade them both ways. That's the beauty of these stocks. But I think the edge right now in this crazy bull market we're in is the front side. So thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you next time.